Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Stay tuned, more to come. Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today's the 29th day of the 10th month of the 23rd year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing extremely well out there. Well, wow. I have to say again, wow. And you'll know what it's about now, because last night we who like sports and sometimes combat sports and warrior sports watched the spectacle of the heavyweight champion of the world, WBC, lineal champion Tyson Fury, against MMA fighter, former MMA fighter, or maybe still fighter, Francis Ngannou. Wow. I mean, I'm first to admit, because I know people are all wise after the fact, but I'm first to admit that I didn't put out anything about what was going to happen. But up here, I got it all wrong. Got it all wrong. In my mind, Francis Ngannou, with the power he had the power to knock out Tyson Fury early. I really believed that could have happened, but that was very limited. I thought Tyson Fury would have toyed with him, broke him down in the second half of the fight, knocked him out. But my God, was I wrong. I was so wrong, I had to do a video about it to say. And I mean, don't get me wrong on that. I'm with the majority this time, not the minority as normal. We were almost all wrong. Almost all the pundits, all the experts were wrong. But guess who wasn't wrong? One person who definitely wasn't wrong, forget Francis Ngannou himself, one person who definitely wasn't wrong was Mike Tyson. And the second person I noticed who wasn't wrong was a man called Teddy Atlas. And you know Teddy Atlas, if you know anything about boxing, came up under D'Amato. Yeah? Came up under D'Amato, just like Tyson did. So the two guys that came up under this man, both of them were far from wrong. At the press conference, Tyson said he wanted to be part of history. Remember, he hasn't trained anybody before that we know of, especially not to the world professional level. And to train your first person and to put a performance, if you've seen it like he did, he knew exactly what he was looking at. And Teddy Atlas, I do go to Teddy Atlas to listen to pre-fight analysis. And I don't really like Teddy Atlas, but you know, he's famous for the man who put the gun to Mike Tyson's head when he was a teenager. But I don't really like Teddy Atlas, but I have to listen to him because he does know his stuff. And just like me, he gets it wrong a lot of the time, but most of the time, his analytical mind and brain of boxing is quite good. I have to give it to him. So I do listen to him. And I'd say he got it pretty much 90% right. He never said the score would go the way it went, but he gave all the possibilities that could happen. And this was almost one of the possibilities that this guy would surprise everyone. And he said he did a day's training with him. He said the guy was trainable, he had superior power, and it was possible that Mike Tyson may have done something with him in the gym that could have got him there. Well, to cut a long story short, for those of you who haven't yet realized, he lost the fight on split decision, which me and you know means he won the fight. There's no way a man can come out for his first fight from MMA and fight the lineal champion of the world, the most box office person that there is, the most marketable person in heavyweight, and be given a decision. That would have been impossible. Could you imagine what that would have meant? All his marketability would have disappeared overnight. Completely. A man can come from a different sport, never boxed before, and just come and beat you. So they couldn't give it to him. So going to a decision, he couldn't win. And that's why he didn't win. To me, my objective view would have been that it should have been a draw. I couldn't really separate them that much, I'm going to be honest. But I think if it was that close on the judge's card, then it would mean, knowing a lot about boxing, that he actually won the fight and they couldn't give it to him. And he has to understand that. That's just the way it goes. That's the nature of money. It's the nature of... I mean, boxing is like most sports, especially boxing, it's corrupt from root to branch. It's not just corrupt on the occasional fight. It's corrupt from root to branch. We have been watching boxing for years. I've watched corruption for years. I remember as a young child watching Ken Norton against Muhammad Ali, a man who I never believed Muhammad Ali has ever beaten, in my humble opinion as a youth. But as an adult, I decided to go back and look and say, was I just misreading what I was watching? And every time I watch the fight, I can't see how Muhammad Ali beat Ken Norton. So, but that's just the way it goes, you know. He was the boxable star. He was the money maker. He was the crowd's favorite. So, boxing must go on. As I said, the show must go on. So, you know, that's neither here or there. So, boxing is corrupt. We have to accept that, and that's just the way. It's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But this man is amazing. And as I said, I really wanted to commend the two guys these two guys that the Teddy Atlas and oh God, I'm losing Mike Tyson for picking him in the way that they picked him, what they said about him. Everybody else was so wrong, including myself. We were so far wrong. Now we know why Tyson decided to try to train him, because what he saw is what we saw last night. He knew this guy had the goods. He had the heart. He had the fighting heart, which is even more important than the skills. Not to be knocked over easily or beaten up or embarrassed by the bright lights. In fact, if you watch the fight clearly, anybody knows anything about fighting, if you've ever had a fight or you've been in fights, you've watched fights over the years, you could see the respect that Tyson Fury had for him early. A body punch early. I think it was even before the knockdown. And after the knockdown, you just watch Tyson Fury's face. This is a man who's under pressure. He's not bullying anybody. He's being bullied by somebody who's walking towards him more often than not, walking him down. The bad man is the one that walks down the other man. Doesn't mean he's the better fighter, because a lot of people tried to walk down Muhammad Ali and he took them to the cleaners. So I'm not saying it's a better fight when you walk down somebody, but you always walk somebody down when you are the bad man and you have that bad reputation and you have that attitude. He walked Tyson down all the way through the fight. He was the bad man in the ring. There was no question about it. And Tyson Fury knew it. And Tyson Fury at the end had to show respect for him and say, oh, he's tough. But the reality is, we all saw it. The guy is more than tough. He's got a resilience. If he gets hit, it just makes him fight harder. Doesn't go down. He's not a Deontay Wilder, who's got the greatest probably single punch in all of history of boxing that I've ever seen. But he doesn't have the heart. He's never been in a tough, rough fight that he can actually say that his heart is there, and if it's against him, he'll keep going and fight until they kill him. Francis Ngannou has that, and when you go up against somebody who has that, you're in a world of trouble. I don't know the man very well. I've certainly never watched any of his fights in MMA, so I glimpsed a few highlights, but I never watched them. But now I've seen him and watched him against the one that they say is the best. What a dangerous fighter he is. I wouldn't put if I was a boxer, if I had my heavyweight charge, I wouldn't put them anywhere near him. Nowhere near him. Not at all. I wouldn't want anything to do with him, because he's unorthodox. He, at some points, from the fourth round on, his mouth was wide open, gasping for air. I thought, that's it, he's finished. You know, anybody watch fighting, you say, well, once their mouth starts to open to that level, they're struggling for air. The man went on for 6 more rounds and even got a second win, and it was more dangerous in the 10th round than he was in the 4th round. These are what real fighters look like. If you haven't seen them on the road, if you haven't seen them on the street, if you ain't been, locked up behind the bars and watched them fight, this is how real fighters perform. This is how they sort of get the harder the fight, the more you see the fight come out of them. This is how they really perform. So I got to take my hats off to this Cameroon fighter. Excellent specimen. Big guy, could not be bullied, could not be pushed around the ring. Looked at a man 6'9", 270 pounds, and walked him down after what he'd done to so many other people. Absolutely amazing. Had to speak about it. And as I said, Costamato, is very important that we realize the only 2 men that I see that called it close were under Costamato. Remember, if you go back and watch a video with Costamato and Muhammad Ali, I think it's 1970 or 71. It's 70 or 71, where the 2 of them are playing about and talking. This is a fight just after Muhammad Ali had got back his title, got back his license to fight, and he was about to fight Joe Frazier the first time. And Muhammad Ali rubbished Joe Frazier. Said, oh, this guy's fake, and he was telling Costamato was trying to correct him, said, no. This guy is the real deal. He told Muhammad Ali, this guy's the real deal. He's got a great left hook. He moves his head well. Da, 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 da. He told him all this stuff right in front of the camera. It's on there on YouTube. And Muhammad Ali took almost no notice of it until he got into the ring with the little man. And when he got into the ring with the little man, it wasn't long. Within a few rounds, he realized that Costamato was a boxing, finesse, what they call it. He's just a boxing genius. He saw what Joe Frazier was and how dangerous he was. And he also told Angelo Dundee, which is the trainer of Muhammad Ali, nobody's ever come out of the ring for 3 years and come back in at this level so quickly. It doesn't happen. And he was absolutely right. He was absolutely right. You see that fight, if you remember it, and we're boxing people, you see that fight, you see at the end of the fight, Muhammad Ali doesn't put his hands up for the first time. He walks back to his corner knowing he's lost before the announcement is even given. He knew straight away. Just go back and watch the fight and you'll see. So these two guys are real boxing people, Teddy Atlas and Mike Tyson. I mean, I thought Mike Tyson, he speaks so much, talks so much, and says a whole heap of stuff, smoking all day long. I thought, well, I didn't take him seriously on this fight. But he obviously saw what we saw last night in this guy, that this guy is dangerous. And could you imagine if this guy takes boxing seriously and gets trained month after month after month after month? Let me tell you something. Anybody in their right mind would sidestep this guy as quickly as possible. That would be my opinion. Sidestep him as quickly as you can, even though he may bring some money, because you can see what kind of danger he carries. Anybody that doesn't go down with big shots, anybody, I don't care how good they are, they're dangerous. And if they've got big shots of their own, then my God, you're in a world of trouble, like Tyson Fury was last night. But anyway, that was my view on the fight last night in Saudi Arabia. Tell me your comments and what your views are, and we'll be in touch with you again soon. Live for Love TV.
Hey guys, Live for Love TV. I want you to like, share and subscribe. Big up yourself.